guys, what's up? Welcome to another ranking video. In this video, I will be ranking the 89 and 1990s Batman movies. Now, if you disagree with me, it's not that serious. This is just my opinion and how I feel about these movies. And yes, I know there's a lot of Batman movies. I could just have done a huge ranking, including every Batman
I felt like
movie.
separating
But
them
I
is a
felt
better way to go because they're just so different. The directors all had different visions, so they're different universes. So I don't want to compare in that sense. So we're sticking with the 89 and the 1990s Batman movies. Coming in at number 4 is Batman and Robin. Batman and Robin is the definition of an over the top, campy superhero movie. From the outfits to the cheesy Mr. Freeze lines.
Stay cool, bird boy.
Even though this one is coming in last for me, there's still parts of this movie that I enjoy. Uma Thurman was an amazing Poison Ivy, at least based on the looks. I think maybe she was a bit more crazy than most iterations of Ivy, but she still made it work. Uma Thurman was a good Poison Ivy. Chris O'Donnell was a good Robin. I had a major crush on him back in the 90s, so he gets points from me just based on that alone. If this movie didn't rely so heavily on the cheesy, campy humor, I think I would have enjoyed it more. As a kid, I loved it. I think most of us enjoyed this movie when we were kids because it was just a silly movie. But when, as an adult, now that I'm more into the Batman lore and everything, I just don't enjoy it as much as I did when I was a kid. One thing that bothered me a lot about this movie was how they portrayed Jim Gordon in this. He's a great character, strong, brave, smart. But in this, he's just a blubbering idiot drooling over Ivy. And, again, as a kid, it was just silly to me. But once you get to know the character, Jim Gordon, it's like, nah, that he got done dirty, okay? George Clooney was okay as Bruce Wayne, but he never shut it off. When he was Batman, he was still Bruce Wayne. Like, there was no difference between the characters. Alicia Silverstone, well, I think her acting was just fine in Batman and Robin. I didn't like what they did with her character, the way they wrote her character. She's Jim Gordon's daughter, not Alfred's niece. So I don't know why they decided to make that creative change, but it wasn't it. And that's why Batman and Robin comes in last on my list at number 4. Coming in at number 3 is Batman Forever. I think Val Kilmer's Batman was actually really underrated. He's a fantastic actor. He did a good job separating Batman and Bruce Wayne. And just like Batman and Robin, this one was a bit more on the campy side, just as not as silly as Batman and Robin, but it definitely still had its parts. I thought Jim Carrey was great as the Riddler. He's one of the more crazy out there Batman villains. So the way Jim Carrey portrayed him just kind of made sense. I know it wasn't for everybody, but I thought that it was really well done. Now, Tommy Lee Jones did okay as Two-Face, but I just feel like the character is more serious and not as campy and out there and eccentric as he was portrayed. Now, that's not Tommy Lee Jones' fault, that's how they wrote the character, and it was just inaccurate. There should have just been a bit more serious to the character, but so Tommy Lee Jones did all right, but it just wasn't written well in this, in my opinion. Nicole Kidman did great. I liked her role. She was, as always, very beautiful in this.
The bat signal is not a beeper.
Well, I wish I could say that my interest in you was purely professional.
And Chris O'Donnell was a good Robin in this one as well, but he didn't really stand out. So overall, Batman Forever had its good parts. I liked Val Kilmer as Batman, but it wasn't top for me. That is why Batman Forever comes in at number 3 on my list. Coming in at number 2 on my list is Batman 89. Some people might be like, wait a minute, why isn't this number 1? And I have my reasons. I love Batman 89, okay? Michael Keaton is my favorite Batman of all time, my favorite live action Batman, anyways. So I love this movie. Thought Michael Keaton did a fantastic job. His Batman and Bruce Wayne are different. It's not, he doesn't keep the same tone, and I love that. So he separates Batman and Bruce Wayne like it's supposed to be. His Batman is Batman, and his Bruce Wayne is Bruce Wayne. He did a great job with that. Jack Nicholson was amazing as the Joker. He was the more crazy,
silly mobster Joker. He crushed that role. The Joker is the one villain that really knows how to get under Batman's skin, right? And Jack Nicholson did that beautifully. It's just with the scene, where he's Bruce and, he's like, "You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts." It shows he snaps for a second. And that's a little bit out of character for Bruce Wayne, who's usually calm, cool, and collected. But that shows how much the Joker just gets under his skin. And I love that scene.
Now you want to get nuts? Come on, let's get nuts.
Kim Basinger did fine as Vicky Vale. She wasn't a standout character, but she fit very well as Bruce Wayne's love interest. So, didn't mind her in the role at all. This movie will always be one of the most nostalgic Batman movies. For many, it was their first introduction to a live-action Batman. At least in the movies sense, I know there was the Adam West show, but for a lot of people like Gen X and millennials, this was their first Batman. I loved the cinematography in this movie. Like it really draws you in. You feel like you're in Gotham, the dark and gloomy city. It was done beautifully. And that is why Batman 89 comes in number 2 on my list. And this is going to be a surprise to nobody that knows me, but coming in at number 1 on my list is Batman Returns. This is my favorite Batman movie. It was just the right amount of campiness. The villains really stand out in this movie, so much so that it has been said that Michael Keaton was actually felt like more of a background player because of how much Michelle Pfeiffer and Danny DeVito just stuck out. See that as fitting though, because Batman's supposed to be this, figure hiding in the shadows, scaring the villains of Gotham, right? He's not out there and crazy. He's chill, calm, quiet. So I really think that fits this movie. So I think that Michael Keaton actually nailed his role perfectly in this, because Catwoman and Penguin are much more out there and they should stand out a bit more. And I think most people will agree with me on this one, that Michelle Pfeiffer absolutely stole the show in this movie. She is the best Catwoman that there probably will ever be.
Meow.
At least in the live action movies. I know some people might disagree when it comes to, some of the shows and even the live action show. But in the movies, I don't think there's ever going to be someone that tops Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman, in my personal opinion. She went from basically a doormat, being walked all over, killed by her boss, to this crazy femme fatale. I love her transformation scene. That is so iconic. Danny DeVito as the Penguin was both creepy and also spot on and amazing. I still get a stomach ache watching the scene where he eats the raw fish, which, fun fact, if you didn't know, he actually did that. That wasn't fake. He really ate the raw fish. Christopher Walken was also a great addition to this movie. He portrayed the perfect, rich, corrupt Gotham bad guy. He did really well in this role. Loved him. The love story between Bruce and Selina was tragic, but also kind of beautiful at the same time. They understood each other's demons, and I think they really did love each other. I liked the ending, but I do wish they would have ended up together. But the ending was just fine. We find out, hey, I think she's still alive, so at least that was a happy part. And that is why Batman Returns comes in number 1 on my list. What did you guys think? Do you agree? Do you disagree with my picks? Let me know in the comments below. And thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to watch some more videos of me ranking stuff, I will post it down below in the description. Bye.